In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the slow redraw tool to see exactly how your embroidery will stitch out. And of course, there's nothing on my screen right now, so I'm going to use an ellipse tool, just click and drag and create an object. And because slow redraw is about seeing how a design will embroider, I'm just going to select my object and make some choices that include embroidery. So right now the fill of it's set for my drawing pens, and I'll just change that to be a net fill. And maybe I'll change the color of the net fill to be a little bit darker so we can see it better. And I can make the cell size bigger. So let's make, I guess, less rows. You know, that's too big. How about 4? And then you could do things like change the angle. So maybe I'll make it 45. And so whatever, you get it how you want it. And for the outline, instead of run stitch, maybe we'll make it a satin border. And it seems kind of narrow at the default setting. And so I'm going to make it 2 millimeters wide, and it kind of beefs it up. There. So I've created an embroidery design, some net fill and a border. And now I can use my slow redraw tool to see exactly how this is going to stitch out. So I'll go ahead and turn it on. It brings me to the beginning of the design. So there's where my current needle position is. And I can choose start, and it will start sewing. Now, right now, I'm just going to stop it. I have it set to move the head, which means the needle's actually staying in the same spot. And when I push start, perhaps I'll just slow it down a little bit. It might not be quite so hard to watch, and say start. See what it's doing is the needle stays in the spot and it moves. Our screen is moving like the embroidery hoop does. Now I'll stop it. If I turn that off and then say start, the needle will move and our screen will stay in place. So it's a little easier to watch that way. But you can drag this to make it go faster or slower. So if I want to make it go faster or slower, I can. And you can, of course, stop it at any time. You can advance. So right now you can see right where my needle is. But notice if I click here, I'll move to there. And if I click here, I'll move to there. So if you want to advance to a specific part of the design, you can do that pretty easily and then start it again. You can use these arrows to advance to the beginning or the end, or the beginning, and then jump sort of like almost by stitch or by sort of group of stitches. And yeah, so the slow redraw tool is very important, mainly because we can learn how our designs will stitch out by watching them sew on our screen. And of course, whatever selections we've made over here in our object properties, we'll actually be able to see their results by doing slow redraw. So that's the benefit of the slow redraw tool.